The Raker of Solnari. I've never heard that name before. Let's keep this news confidential for the time being. But if this Rarier is as you describe, he will be a truly formidable opponent if we tried—
Yeah. Things might be okay if everyone was willing to work together, but right now... Exactly. Whatever the case, let's start by telling those we can get to join up about the— As it happens, we have our own reasons to protect Not Krai. But even if we didn't, we'd never leave people in the lurch.
Thank you. The Frost Moon Scions will stand with you to prevent this In addition, I believe that the relationships between the various factions in this land are— the winds of change are blowing. And we Scions have nowhere to run. Whether our foe is the Fatui or this Raker,
Let's see. Speaking of allies, the Krumkake craft shop is the closest by, right?
Friendly approach detected. We meet again.
Listen! We've got updates on the wild hunt situation.
Threat level exceeds expectations.
Phew, doesn't matter if he's the Rahira Solnari or Solari or whatever. You were there when we fired it, right? If that isn't the kind of firepower that helps you sleep at night.
True, but the cannon only works against shambling monsters, right?
Well, we'll just get an effort to go grab him and tie him down.
You're not taking this seriously at all, are you?
Anyways, firepower is not a concern. See those canisters over there? That's all concentrated Kubaki, which we'll be shipping to Nashitown. More than enough ammo in there to blast that Fatui research facility to bits in a single shot.
You sure have been looking forward to this bat.
Of course! This is gonna be the shot that shocks the world. All of Not Krai, heck, all of Snezhnaya will know my name once we're through. Sure, travel safe.
I know. There remains intel left on ship.
Oh, right. Yeah. Since you're investigating, remember that Sosi guy? The Ratnik in charge of firing the cannon? He's been found dead in their organization's—
Wait, what? Didn't we just see him, like, half a day ago?
Yeah, it's still new news. So not many people are in the know. I'll send a Nepha over to Nashitown with some flowers like—
He seemed like a good guy. Didn't put on any airs despite being—
The data concurs. This gentleman appears to have been one of the most accomplished amongst the Lightkeeper's Sergeant Majors. His character has also received commendation.
Oh, that makes it even worse.
Hey! What do you mean, actually? Either way, I'm not clued in on the details. Only Ratniki have been allowed on site to investigate the scene.
You'll have to— Got it. Let's go then. You coming along, Inefa?
My tasks are incomplete. The last few batches of ammunition must be randomly inspected.
All right. We'll see you later. This must be it. Oh. Doesn't look like there's any chance of us getting in with that Ratnik guarding the door, though. Should we go speak to the guard first?
Might as well try squeezing blood from a stone.
Ah! Never! What?
I came over to take a look as soon as I received the news just now. Aino told you about this. Before we start, shall we see if we've made the same guess? Indeed. Quicker than we thought as well. Keep your eyes peeled for any clues once we get in. No need—
But how are we supposed to get in at all?
Just follow me.
I'm sorry, but we're not open to guests right now.
Sorry about that. They're here to investigate.
All of them?
The paperwork checks out.
All right then. Enter.
Paimon might have said this before, Nefer, but you sure do come prepared.
Shishich, my old friend. Fill us in, if you would.
Greetings. If you would allow me. The murder happened not long ago. The Sergeant Major was killed by a single piercing strike from a polearm. We have performed a preliminary sweep of the crime scene. No obvious signs of a violent struggle. No damaged doors or windows. The culprit must have used some other means to enter the room unopposed before performing the deed.
Entering unopposed. So, do you think there's a chance that the culprit would usually have right of entry?
At the moment, the most valuable lead we have is based on an eyewitness report from a nearby resident. Specifically, that Flint's was seen entering and leaving this place in the time period when the crime most likely occurred.
Flint's?
We have tried to contact him, but he has not replied.
Very odd indeed.
So, he's the prime suspect right now.
To be honest, I'm not particularly inclined to believe that this was an inside job. Flint's can come across a bit eccentric, but he also had no disagreements with the Sergeant Major that we know of. So he lacks the motive to commit such a terrible... But neither the eyewitness report nor the nature of the fatal wound itself are in his favor. So we are looking for him at...
Looks like there's not much else to dig up here. Let's go outside and discuss what we've seen. So, the evidence points to Flint's, and he just so happens to have disappeared. We know that this Flint's could have been Rerir in disguise, but we lack the evidence to prove this to anyone else. Furthermore, Flint's has left us with many questions, all of which will require a reasonable...
Yeah! He said he would report back to headquarters, but it seems he hasn't gone at all. What could he be...
Let's approach the issue this way. First, we must determine our culprit. Was it Flint's or Rerir in disguise?
Yeah! What reason would Flint's have to murder Sosie anyway?
None, as far as I know. And even if he had a motive, it would have been easier to do so out in the wild, rather...
Yeah! They would have often gone out on missions together. Plenty of chances there.
Yes, but there's one thing worth noting here. Remember the intel we got back at the tavern? No one has ever seen a phantom that can take the form of other humans within the wild. This means that he has been hesitant to abuse this ability, or allow it to become common knowledge. Likely so that he could act in secret under...
But no matter what, borrowing identities comes with risks, right? What if you bump into the person you're...
Precisely. In other words, his goal must have been worth the risk. Similar to how he came in. He likely knew then that the real Flint's would not appear and get in his way during this time. We'd have to ask Flint's ourselves, I'm afraid. But we shouldn't jump to any conclusions here. We can't discount the possibility that he might actually be the murderer himself. And there are other, less likely scenarios. For instance, Rerir may have already killed Flint's long ago, and been living... Yes, that is our ticket to a breakthrough.
Then we've got to find him before the Lightkeepers do, or we might never see him again.
Steady now. Our friend should be back soon.
We've tracked him down to a beach north of Nasha Town. The Wild Hunt is present too, so we're putting a force together. I'll have you know that this is top secret information I'm leaking here.
Don't worry. You'll receive a top-class... The beach is all yours. I'll stay and slow the Lightkeepers down. Things might go
Oh, right! Before we go, should we reveal Rerir's secret? Since he's trying to keep it all hush-hush, why don't we just pull the curtains on his little trick? That'll teach him to sneak around. Hey! Why are you laughing?
Oh, I was just imagining how satisfying that would feel. But I'm afraid this revelation would only... Setting aside the matter of evidence, some may trust Flint's on our account, whereas others would suspect him on account of his behavior. Tossing him into a swirling tumult of public opinion like that might just give Rerir more opportunity. And think about it. Once people learn that he can masquerade as those they trust, would they continue to welcome friends into their homes with such unease grips the hearts of those in Nasha Town already? We should avoid throwing more fuel.
Yeah, you're right. You really thought of everything, huh? Nothing for it, then.
Indeed. But just in case, let me stress once more. We should neither be excessively afraid of Rerir. This light source is of special Lightkeeper design. It provides illumination within Wild Hunt anomalies, and can briefly dispel the...
Oh, right. We'll have to deal with that mess, too. Yeah, this'll be important.
You're welcome. I've charged it to your account, by the way.
Hey, you! Whoa! The fog really... Is that a Lightkeeper's lantern? Is there someone up ahead? Come on, let's go see! Monsters! This monster was lurking near the lamp. That must have been a planned ambush. We're not falling for that again. There's something inside it. Huh? Why isn't it giving off light anymore? Is it broken? fight took place here. Did Flints leave these marks?
Is someone there? Please, help me!
Isn't that Flints' voice? Did you hear that? But is that really him?
Perissos. Sí, oeremos. Llamadme Satsesi por ambos kalum. Ilmio selu sinin so. Semmi kestul.
Hand it over. That was mine from the first.
Tutonine torai desnevite.
You're a fool. You again.
What the? It's stronger than before. Lantern now! It escaped again. This situation speaks for itself, I presume.
So, you were tangling with Rarer out here all by yourself.
So, that vile phantom hiding inside the Wild Hunt has a name of his own.
Yeah, you don't look so good.
Sorry you had to see me like this. All the same, you have my sincere thanks for your aid. To think you had the power to so easily cleanse the filth staining the lantern, which tormented... Might I ask what magic that was? Or whose pupil you are? I believe I might... And an enviable constitution it is. A pity that such abilities cannot be acquired.
Why did abyssal power just burst out of your lantern anyway?
That is a long story. Many moons ago, when on Wild Hunt clearance duty, I shattered one of its cores, only for I sensed a power surging within it that was at once familiar yet strangely illusory. I freely confess to being an avid collector of ancient gems, coins, and other curios. And curiosity it was that had me. Afterwards, I wound up collecting a few more such crystals quite by accident, and discovered that they could merge into a single piece without my prompting. It was only recently that they began slowly emitting abyssal energy, which could neither be dispelled nor weakened.
Is that what Rarer claimed belonged to him? That must be what he's...
I concur. And here's the kicker. Before he was exceedingly weak. In fact, I've already beaten him, but I noticed while engaging him that the crystal fragment would restrict my powers. As such, it occurred to me that I should hide it rather than tangle with him any longer. Alas, he has proved most fixated upon this fragment. And for some reason, his strength has grown by leaps and bounds since I last encountered him. And where, might I ask, would it be safe? Or were our places switched, would you discard it, knowing that its perilous might was beyond your ability to counteract, yet capable of causing...
Yeah. Throwing it away would mean giving the bad guy what he wants. But exposing yourself to its corrosion and growing...
Only those who shoulder risks are qualified to welcome in the turning of the tide. Those who flee when troubles come are nothing more than deserters. Though I shan't deny that I have your fortuitous arrival and most outstanding assistance to thank for my continued ability to speak. Either way, it seems this fragment is now utterly still. That must have made it useless to Rarir. I doubt he would have retreated so readily otherwise. I imagine this wasn't the only reason you came looking for me, though?
Well...
To use the Lightkeepers to find me, I suspect. I did not inform anyone of my true whereabouts, so he should have had more. They alone have the ability to quickly pinpoint my position. Our Sergeant Major has a Kuvaki-powered device that can be used to detect others who bear... They usually don't pay my whereabouts much mind unless they absolutely must find me.
You mean this thing?
Yes. Where did you pick this up?
We found it inside a lantern when we first charged into the Wild Hunt anomaly.
It must belong to a Ratnik dispatched to investigate the area, who, it seems, dropped everything and fled the moment they saw the Wild Hunt map.
Guess it's not surprising how they found you so fast, then. But if Rarir could have shapeshifted into Sosi, why didn't he just use that Kuvaki?
Were he to use it, that device would likely fail to act as it should.
Guess that...
So not only is this Rarir ruthless, but a purveyor of dirty tricks, too. You might not be familiar with Sergeant Major Sosi, but he put his heart and soul into... Our deployments are subject to orders from headquarters, and his orders were to be stationed long-term in Nasha Town. He worked so hard, seeking to produce excellent results that might convince...
Oh.
But every year they would say, wait a little longer. Wait a little longer. In truth, everyone had nothing but the highest praise for him. But the higher-ups would think, he's doing great where he is. Let him stay there forever. Whereas his subordinates would think, wouldn't it be a shame if we were to lose such a talent? So he waited. And he waited. Until the world closed its eyes in the depths of the night, and a lantern was slowly lit for him alone. One that has played out many times throughout history. Another reason to take this Rarir's head.
Oh. At least we now know that he's looking for these fragments inside
And yet, what did the Sergeant Major have to do with any of this? Why did he have to die?
Could Rarer be angry that the cannon Sosi set up to fire destroyed the fragments he wanted to collect?
Could you take me to the scene of the crime? We shall just have to exercise some discretion then. I understand the situation more or less. Much has happened, I see. Either way, I suppose we were lucky not to receive a warm welcome on the way over here. It seems my fellow Lightkeepers do not wish—
Yeah. Guess Nasha Town's already been—
Let's stop here. Any further in the rat— Since you two can enter, I'll have to request that you kindly pick me up once you're inside.
Oh? And how are we supposed to do that?
You'll know when the time comes. See you later.
Still acting all mysterious. But he seemed pretty confident, so guess we've got to trust him. Hello?
Ah, you're the special assistants for this investigation.
Yep, that's us.
Well, you're just in time. We're basically done investigating the crime scene. All that's left is to finish writing up some record. If there's anything else you'd like to look into, this is your last chance to do. Sadly, no. The motive behind the killing remains a mystery. And while we somehow managed to get news of Flint's, an unexpected accident, but considering that Nefer from the Curatorium of Secrets came forward to help investigate, I have no doubt that a breakthrough—
We'll do our part too. All right, we're going. Phew, we're in. Thanks to Nefer's reputation, but we still know nothing about how Flint's is gonna enter, or how we'll pick him up. Never mind how we'll leave later on. Something the matter? Huh. That looks like Flint's lantern. But where is he exactly? Well, we've got the lantern. What now? Oh, Paimon almost screamed out loud. You never said you could do magic like that.
This lantern may have a rather peculiar shape, but so long as it doesn't glow, it won't stand out in the dark. I calculated that you would have already entered, so I chose a spot visible from the window before using light to send you as I thought. You're both sharp-eyed and on the ball.
The perks of being veteran adventurers, huh?
Your composure is more impressive still. You're right. That required a little— But let us leave such trivial topics for a more relaxed moment. Our time is limited. Just as I thought. Come, try— Identical powers must flow from the same source. It was the wild hunt, then, that took my form and killed the—
To sow chaos by depriving the Lightkeepers of one of—
If the wild hunt's true form is powerful enough to stand against the world as you claim, I fear not even the full force of Lightkeepers could stand against him. Let alone the handful of us stationed in Not. He would have no reason whatsoever to pick quarrels with individual ants. Let's look again more closely. We must leave no stone unturned. Well, that makes things simpler. In that case, allow me to disturb the fallen. When we fought, he seemed like quite a reckless foe. Certainly not the meticulous mastermind type. Yet here we—
Oh, if we can't get any leads, we might have to go back and find Nefer. Oh, the longer we're stuck here, the likelier he is to achieve his goal. Ah! You mean this?
I'm not well versed in machinery, but that means his mechanical arm is malfunctioning, right?
No, that's not right. Paimon remembers this signal. We saw it before. It doesn't mean that the components are damaged. It just means that they're due for regular maintenance. But the real problem is that... Yeah, he even helped us find the maintenance port. It could still be a coincidence, but considering it hasn't been long at all since we were...
The Sosi you met could have been Rerir in disguise. In other words, he played the Sergeant Major before disguising...
That's right! If only there was some way to prove it.
You mean Hintsa?
We had a short chat with him once at the tavern, but it's so late.
I know where he lives. The situation is critical, so let us now take up the role of uninvited guests ourselves. Ah, yes. And one more thing. Remember to pick me up by the window.
Oh, it's you two. And Flint's. Given the hour, I guess
It is indeed. Our sincerest apologies for interrupting. We are investigating a certain matter in connection with Sergeant Major Sosi. We'd like to...
Sosi. Oh, so the rumors I heard. You know what? Forget it. I'm sure it's complicated. No further questions from me. Just a...
Thank you for your understanding.
Got it. 8 days ago, he came to request a round of regular maintenance. But as it happened, I had run out of the required... His mechanical arm is especially sophisticated, having been designed by Aino personally. The parts, too, could only be made by her. As such, they usually take several days to arrive. In fact, this time, he even asked me if we could push his request, and I understood. Completely. Not being able to use your hand, that's rough for anyone. But even more so if your job involves fight, and eventually, the parts arrived. 3 days ago, if I remember correctly. I sent word to the Lightkeepers immediately, but he never showed up. I assumed he was just out on... What's with those faces?
You've provided us with some very crucial information, Hintsa. We can't make everything public yet, but once our investigation is complete, I will return to thank you and provide an explanation on behalf of all the Lightkeepers.
No worries. Just glad I could help.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night. Hope the investigation goes well.
It seems that it is as we guessed. The Sergeant Major Sosi you encountered while repairing the cannon was actually 8 days ago. He had yet to act. But at some point after that, he attacked and imprisoned the Sergeant Major. With the immense gap in strength between them, the job was finished in a single blow. And thus Rerir had no Perhaps his mastery of shapeshifting extends only to outward form, and not therefore to complex internal mechanisms. Hence his oversight of the uniquely mechanical traits of the Sergeant Major's arm.
You're saying he thought no one would realize his mechanical arm is actually made of some kind of black muck on the inside? Still seems like there's a lot of guesswork involved here, but it mostly makes sense.
This also has me stumped for the moment. The cannon has always been used to destroy the Wild Hunt, but how would that help Rerir exactly? Assuming he plans to collect the fragments within Wild Hunt anomalies, firing the cannon works against him, since it would blast those fragments to smithereens.
So we solved one mystery, only to dig up another. Whew. This is getting Paimon kind of down.
Yes, I'd say it is high time we took a break. Seems like that we'll have to fight Rerir eventually. And we'll...
Yeah, we should totally get some sleep first.
A reasonable suggestion. I have no doubt that my quarters have been turned. My colleagues have never failed to live up to my expectations of their...
Well, guess we'll just have to pick you up as usual.
That would be good, yes. Feel free to put the room costs on my tab.
Phew, back inside. We can finally take a breather.
I suppose we could all take a moment to unwind. Had you already sensed the unique power within my lantern at that time? I see. Words truly do fail to capture your Fortunate then that abyssal energy was only leaking from the fragment in minuscule amounts when we first met. Or I might have been in for a real interrogation.
Yeah, hard to say how that would have played out. We've had a whole bunch of unpleasant run-ins with the Abyss.
You mean to ask why I'm going this far to oppose him? Well, as a light...
Yeah! You're covered in more mysteries than Paimon could shake a skewer at!
All right. I suppose I do owe you Your deductions have been quite correct. Should one wish to conceal oneself within a lantern, you know humans well. And naturally, you understand their limits. But some things that humans would consider difficult are quite normal in the eyes of
So, you mean...
Have you heard of how Snezhnaya was once the realm of the Fae? This race is no longer of any importance. But they still exist.
We've heard some scattered legends, but that's all Paimon thought there was to it.
I once turned my heart toward humanity. And thus did I experience loss. When you realize you are floating in the middle of a vast ocean, you cannot help but feel that... Would it not be better then to simply sink? But before I could sink to truly lightless depths, chance had it that I should be awakened by a band of Ratniki. They were facing a horde of abyssal monsters, and could not last against such a disparity in strength. Yet none fled. Those who dwell in darkness for long enough become exceedingly sensitive to all light. And the first light I saw upon awakening was that which shone.
Is that why you chose to help them?
Perhaps I was moved by their valor. Perhaps I simply saw my past self in them, and was moved to action for the first, but I was freshly awoken, and my powers were limited. The survivors and I buried the fallen heroes. That was the origin of the final night cemetery. Well, not exactly. I was just more familiar with them.
Doesn't sound too believable.
Well, I believe it. Besides, I'm well past the age when one might believe in things nonetheless. There are still some things I will not allow to happen. The chaos that... Tomorrow I shall go and check our records to see if I can find any connection between the Wild Hunt, Rereer, and the...
Well, you need us to get you where you need...
Oh, I'll be fine. I keep a backup copy at my residence and...
Can you even go back there right now? Aren't there...
Thanks for the reminder. I believe they'll have checked my place, but they won't have stayed. All things are ranked according to their priority, and we lack the... And even if someone is waiting, I have ways around that. I am the master of my own...
All right, then. We'll trust you. We sure ended up chatting for a while.
I didn't take you for the cautious sort. Anyway, I hope you'll help me keep this a secret. I'd prefer others not to know about my past unless strictly necessary. Nor do I want to attract more...
Paimon's lips are sealed, too.
All right. Thanks again for your help.
Finally, we can rest. Let's go get some sleep. There's tons to do tomorrow.